Hi, we'll start from here, this page. Let's break it down. So Unit 1. So what is the purpose to study history? History meaning. And this paragraph, as you can see, is English. History as past, history as historiography. So when it comes to history, so we can divide it two parts, and this one and this one. And the former is meaning objective. The latter is meaning subjective. This paragraph and as a history based on the facts. Does that mean just so all of the story so far? So that means it's really there is a lot of some story. It's like the sand on the beach. So with this paragraph, as history based on the recording, and that means that kind of story so made by a researcher or historian. So when it comes to studying history, normally we study so made by reorganized the history by the historian or writer. And this paragraph it is also so what is proposed to study history. And when it comes to studying history, it is involved two things. The first, so we can learn the study laterally the history, and on the other hand we can get some reason or some insight through history. And the former is so we can extend our knowledge, and the latter so we can learn some knowledge and ability, the lesson from the history character and the history facts. Yeah. And this paragraph, the history sorted by the political and economy, social, culture, religion, and so on. They have a lot of knowledge in many ways. As we study history, we can reach that kind of knowledge. So yeah. And this is 첫째, the first. And as we study the history, so we can see our life in the right way. And yeah, I was a little bit scared to mention, because if we don't know, if we don't study the history, so we cannot see the real life, current life, and we can see the real things. So really scared. The second, and we can get a lesson, and yes, I think it's the same meaning. And the last one, so we can get the thinking power, and we can get some critical insight and so on. And it's true, because when we see some history, I already told you it is made by the historian or researcher. That is why. And so when we see some history, we should see external and internal. So while think about that, and we can get some critical, some insights. Okay, let's see this part. And it is 도움글. 도움 and the help. 글 is writing. It's hard to find some word translate, but I think I'd like to say it's helping us understand. So Oriental history research. This paragraph said in Oriental history, so we need to get some theoretical base and the reference. That is why we make a history. So yes, and for example, in this paragraph, they would like to say the critical insight. So it can be divided two parts. The first external, and we just see some is it fact or not. There is error or not. Yeah, and we just trying to figure it out. It is true or not, or there is some error. If there is error or not, it can be the truth, and we can trust this history. And the last paragraph, they would like to say the internal critical. It's also, so it can be the truth, and you can trust this some history. Yes, it's really hard to translate from English. Hopefully you guys understand. If you didn't understand, just leave comment and I will handle more detail later. This paragraph, the internal and external history. The external history is just true, based on the objective truth, and internal history is, so we cannot see what happened at the time. You have to imagine what happened at the time, and we try to get close to the truth. So we the analyst, the background, so who is leading the history, and who is doing like that, and what is the intent to do. Yes, and this picture is called the 조선 왕조실록, and that means Joseon Dynasty, the history book. It is history books from the 14th century to 19th century. Thank you for watching this video, and have a good day.